Thanks for staying with us on Ringgit Sense Plus, powered by Ringgit Plus. Now imagine this situation. A young man, let's call him Azhar, who has been working for 3 years as a technician, gets into a motorcycle accident on his way to work. He ends up in a private hospital with a broken leg and arm. His medical bills come up to 20,000 ringgit, and his doctor tells him that they have to put a steel bar and 6 screws into his arm. Now this would mean he has partial disability and can't use his arm at work. Luckily for him, his company has medical insurance coverage for him of up to 30,000 ringgit. We asked 2 licensed financial planners, what can someone like Azhar do in a situation like this? Where else can he seek financial assistance? We met with 2 financial planners to ask them what someone in Azhar's situation can do.
With regards to Azhar's situation, so first and foremost, obviously his initial medical bill will be covered under his company's policy because it's only 20,000 versus 30,000. And generally, even company policies, even in the case of post-treatments, is generally covered up to the limit. So he can still go for post-treatments up to the 30,000 limit, and it's usually per year.
Azhar can make a claim from the Social Security Organization or SOCSO under the Partial Disability Scheme. However, Rafiq says he needs to choose wisely on whether he wants to make a claim from the insurance company or SOCSO.
Let's say he does exceed the total amount that the company insurance limits provide. So his first option is actually he can claim from SOCSO. But this is actually then dependent on how he got injured. So under the SOCSO's employment injury scheme, if he actually got injured while he was working or while he was on his way to work or on his way from work to home, then the cost of the medical expenses will be covered under SOCSO. Okay, so if that's the case, then he can then go to any SOCSO's panel clinic and then get the treatment for free. He can also go to government hospitals, and then I think he can be upgraded to second-class wards. So it's not your normal wards. In addition to that, if he is contributing to EPF, he can actually use his account too. He can use his account too in order to claim for the expenses that is not being covered by anybody else. So it means, let's say, after the company's limit has been fully utilized, SOCSO, but there are still additional expenses for some reason that he needs to pay, then he can make that claim from EPF.
Now, what if Azhar wants to purchase medical insurance for himself in the future? Can he still do it even with his disability?
Of course, he can still submit for application to be insured by any insurance company in Malaysia. Now, the first principle about insurance is that we, as a consumer, we are obligated to disclose everything about our health that is up to our knowledge to the insurance company, because they need this information to assess whether we are considered a standard insured member to the program or not. Why do they need that, right? Because when they calculate the premium, the cost of insurance is based on a person that is standard. Your body, everything is normal one. So if there is an extra element like a steel plate, whatever, in my hand or leg, then we have to tell the insurance company, which after they get this information, they may request for a report to ascertain the current condition that the person is today. Then they will issue you an offer. Alright, for this kind of condition, usually the outcome should be insurance company will exclude any further treatment costs or expenses that is related to that condition. For example, the steel plate may have to be removed one day. So this cost definitely will not be covered. It's very fair.
According to Kevin, the insurance company will make a proposal to someone like Azhar, but they will put in conditions where they will not cover pre-existing conditions like injuries suffered by Azhar from his motorcycle accident. For example, if there are any complications arising from the metal plate and screws in his arm, it would be excluded. We also asked Kevin, what does partial and permanent disability mean and how it will affect your insurance claim.
The terminology permanent and partial disability benefit usually is something we will see under personal accident benefits. What it means is that for a person to claim partial disability benefit, your doctor has to certify that this person cannot do some of the work. All right, that means if let's say I'm a writer, I use my brain and I use both of my hands to type. So let's say just one finger or one hand is not convenient to do the work, but I still have another hand, it can consider some of the work I still can do. I'm not totally have to sit at home and do nothing. So this is considered a partial disability situation, whereas permanent disability situation is whereby totally cannot do any work during that recovery period. So when you buy personal accident policy or even add on a personal accident rider to your life insurance policy, for personal accident general insurance part first, consumer has the option to choose whether they want to include this kind of benefit into their policy or not. Okay, it will add on a bit of premium. Then the rate is usually set. Let's say 1 week of disability, it's 100 ringgit. So if the doctor says you are unable to work for 2 weeks, then 200 it is. It's based on the assessment of the doctor, right? If let's say it says 2 weeks and then 2 weeks later it's still not recovered, you have to go back to the doctor for the assessment, and then based on their professional opinion, they will say, okay, you need another week and you can claim for another week. Okay, under the life insurance part, the rider under for personal accident, if it is a comprehensive personal accident rider, they will usually cover permanent disability and partial disability benefit. It will be based on a formula or a percentage on how much you buy the insured amount.
To sum it up, Kevin says at the very least, consider having two types of insurance: medical insurance and personal accident coverage. If you get into an accident or have a serious illness, the medical insurance will help cover your medical bills. However, once you're out of the hospital and have some form of disability like a broken arm and can't work, then your personal accident insurance will step in to help replace lost income. If you often ride a motorcycle, consider getting these two types of insurance as soon as you can afford it.